The Southville 3A National High School embraces the future into the new normal by planning what is the best that we can do. Now that we are faced with these challenges in our education system due to this pandemic, with faith and confidence in the Lord and our teamwork together, we know it will empower us to maximize our potentials and pursue with sulong edukalidad. So now, I am very pleased to present to you the LCP of Southville 3A National High School. Our school learning continuity plan for this school year is divided into parts. Part 1, brief introduction and profile of the school. Despite calls for delaying of classes, DepEd Secretary Leonor M. Briones reiterated that classes would open on August 24, 2020, whatever form it is. According to Briones, a child's education will continue amid the coronavirus disease COVID-19 pandemic, even though this pandemic poses a great challenge to all of us. In view of this mandate, the DepEd Secretary ensures the health, safety, and well-being of all the learners, teachers, and DepEd employees with all the guiding principles on health and safety. In this regard, we at Southville 3A National High School committed to give our best to sustain the challenge and empower the lives of students with the prerequisite of ensuring their health and well-being together with our teachers and personnel. We prioritize the idea that teaching and learning should not be undermined under any circumstances. We will work hand in hand to quality education amidst this pandemic, following the guiding principles of our department and SDO under the framework of our national program on quality basic education, Sulong Edukalidad. DepEd also pushes forward the use of technology in education. At the same time, it is also our part of the future beyond COVID-19. Together, we will face the challenges of the new normal with the virtues of the old normal: courage, faith, adventure, and discovery. With every new school year comes a fresh start. Southville 3A National High School will continue to develop learners who model and practice the positive actions their teachers expecting them to use. School profile: vacant, idle, covered by thick vegetation of grass, shrubs, and thickets. This is the description of a resettlement project for the place where the school is now located. In a place which then seemed to be a hopeless piece of land is now an academe, standing tall and proud as it continues to produce graduates fortified with the motivation that their hopes and dreams should not be bound by the situation they are fated to live in. In 2009, with the President's eager desire to provide an efficient linkage between provinces, an effort to stabilize our then declining economy, the government deemed it necessary for the Philippine National Railway (PNR) to resume its function after years of inaccessibility, causing the families living near the railroad to be sent to resettlement sites. A tripartite agreement between the National Housing Authority (NHA), People's Organization, and Baki Corporation was organized wherein Baki Corporation committed into developing resettlement projects and selling home lots for beneficiary families through NHA. With the approved proposal under the resettlement program of the National Housing Authority and in support with the Southline Railway Linkage Project, a resettlement site was opened in Barangay San Antonio, San Pedro, Laguna. NHA transferred families to site upon completion of project with water and electric power. The school, being a resettlement site, has 50% of its clientele as house helpers, tricycle drivers, jeepney drivers, and factory workers. The other half either live as garbage collectors or simple house parents. Most of working parents even have to leave their children at home to find employees in the town proper. Due to the increase in population and the need to ensure that even with the resettlement situation, the right of the young people for education was still advocated, a public school has been constructed. It was named Southville 3A National High School Sampaguita Extension. In 2009, 8 teachers from Sampaguita Village National High School were deployed in the area to reach out to the youth of the place. But since no provision for a secondary school building was made, the teachers diligently taught their students in the houses provided by the NHA. The teachers bore the challenge of teaching under the heat of the houses and the insufficient place, carrying with them the passion to provide opportunities for the next generation to be educated. On November 9, 2009, upon the construction of the elementary building, the school's principal generously shared their third floor to the high school teachers, with a total of 5 rooms. The entire high school population transferred there. To maximize the portion given them, the teachers decided to divide each classroom and create shifting schedules. On March 31, 2010, the school's first commencement exercise was held with 27 students as graduates. Due to the small number of graduates and the insufficient fund that the school has, the teachers decided to merge the graduates with the graduation ceremony of Sampaguita Village National High School main campus, which was held at the Pasita Astrodome. During the school year 2010 to 2011, 5 additional teachers were deployed in the place. With the ever-increasing number of students every year, a new batch of teachers was deployed for school year 2011 to 2012. With the aim of providing better education to the Filipino students, the Department of Education adopted the K-12 curriculum. It was applied to the school year 2012 to 2013. With the change in the curriculum, schools everywhere needed additional teachers who will carry the bulk of students who will be entering the additional 2 years. The government acted on this need by conducting mass hiring on the same year. It was 2007 when the school was relocated to a new location, just nearby the elementary school building where the school once occupied. It is about 4,000 square meters with one building composed of 20 rooms. Up to now, the school still occupies the new building with a new set of teachers handling a larger number of students. Part 2. School Key Education Data. The following tables below describe the key education data of Southville 3A National High School for school year 2020 to 2021 as of July 30, 2020, as reflected from the LESF. A. School category, enrollment and percentage of enrollment. B. Enrollment per grade level. C. Classrooms. The non-instructional classrooms were turned into offices for the principal and registrar, supply, guidance, science, computer, and TLE laboratory, and canteen. All instructional rooms will be on the second to fourth floor of the building. C. Classrooms. The non-instructional classrooms were turned into offices for the principal and registrar, supply, guidance, science, computer, and TLE laboratory, and canteen. All instructional rooms will be on the second to fourth floor of the building. D. Number of teachers. E. Parents and guardians employment data. F. Parents and guardians educational attainment. G. Household members who can provide support to the learners. H. Challenges that may affect the learning process. Part 3. The Framework and Implementation Plan. A. Framework and Implementation Plan. The School Learning Continuity Plan, guided by the Implementation Plan and Framework as shown. B. Emerging learning modality preferences decision state. The school has already envisioned that only a few can afford the online learning modality. Thus, modular distance learning will be implemented. As time goes, the parents are having second thoughts on using the online delivery since they can't afford to have the gadgets that their learners will be using. Some only are using their own mobile data and only Android phones are available now. C. Modality of best fit per grade level. D. Process flow of modular learning delivery. Packaging. 1. IM's individual module will be packed by the person in charge. He or she must wear face mask, face shield, and gloves. 2. Materials needed by the person in charge must be disinfected before the process. 3. The IMs will be placed in a sealed plastic or envelope that has been disinfected. 4. All IMs will be placed in a big box with a tag indicated the grade level, section, and subject area. Distribution and retrieval. 1. Parents will have to undergo disinfection and must wear necessary protection before entering the school premise while practicing proper social distancing. 2. Parents will follow the flow of distribution and retrieval of IMs according to the flow chart posted outside and inside of each classroom. 3. Parents will follow the time allotted for their child's schedule. Classroom assessment. Formative and summative assessment can be done individually and collaboratively. Individual assessment enables learners to demonstrate independently what has been learned through check-up quizzes, unit tests, written output, performances, and quarterly assessment. Collaborative assessment allows learners to support each other's learning, to produce evidence of their learning through discussions, games, group activities, and creation of projects. Excess teachers will be assigned to be the departmentalized teachers. DepEd Order Number 8 Series of 2015, Policy Guidelines and Classroom Assessment for the K-12 Basic Education Program. Computation of summative assessment for grades 1 to 12. Step 1, Step 2. Step 3. Formative assessment. Formative assessment may be integrated in all parts of the lesson, before the lesson, during the lesson, and after the lesson. Summative assessment. Summative assessment is used to measure the different ways learners use and apply knowledge, understanding, and skills. There are three components for this kind of assessment: written work, performance task, quarterly assessment. E. Teacher deployment. F. Class program. Sample prototype class program for modular or face-to-face. Distribution and returning of modules. Strict observance of the entrance and exit gates and other protocols like social distancing, wearing a face mask, hand sanitizing, and others. Distribution shall be done inside the classroom per class with at most 25 parents. The management process. G. Learning resources. 1. LRMDS. 2. Teachers made lesson exemplar and learning materials such as worksheets, activity cards, video lessons, etc. 3. Available instructional materials provided by DepEd. 4. Materials available in different platforms approved by DepEd. H. Continuing professional development. Inset, webinars, school learning action cell. I. Teachers' readiness. J. Monitoring and evaluation. Evaluation tool in the utilization of idea exemplars based on RM296 series of 2020. Modular distance learning modality. Based on the school survey. K. School supply and management. Stakeholders engagement. Pledges and donations. Parental involvement. Learning partners. L. Fund, resource requirements and sources. 1. School operating budget. 2. Local school board. 3. Donations. M. Legal basis. References as of DepEd order and other issuance. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.